Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to go over finding your way around the Linux operating system with some simple commands that you might see every day, every now and then. So first off, my name is, well, not really say my name, but the name of the channel is Cali How To, and this channel is going to be about how to find your way around Linux and do basic tasks, and later on we'll get into basic things like how to program in JavaScript, Python, stuff like that. So first you want to go over and you want to open your terminal, which when you first load Ubuntu it will not, you have to search for it. So okay, so first, as you can see, this right here, this is your local host name. So when you type in who am I, you get your name. And since you're running Ubuntu, if you are, you'll not be able to root, which is where the command sudo comes in. So I'm just going to do a simple, and it asks for your password. You can cancel, but you know what I mean. And you guys can see basic things. So first one I want to show you is CD and ls. So ls is basically list. So as you can see in my home directory, these are all the file names I have in my home directory right now. So, you know, basic things like that. So then you want to do, let's say I wanted to go to my desktop. And, you know, while I'm on my desktop, I want to find all the file names that I have on my desktop. So Clonezilla, basically everything else, Minecraft, Java, stuff like this. And so let's say I have my Python script here. This is another one of those simple commands, which is basically Python. So you want to hit, you want to type in Python, and you want to type in like the first two letter, two, three, or four letters of your file name and hit tab. It'll auto complete the thing for you. Hit enter, and as you can see, you have that. And basically, there's the clear command, which clears all this. And of course, you got vim, which is basically VI improved. So, and we'll do a separate vim video later on, but that was just basically a command. You have apt-get install, which is apt is basically short for aptitude. Aptitude install. Actually, wait, I may have typed that in wrong. Sorry, but you get what I mean. Apt is short for aptitude. There's sudo, which is basically your temporarily root for that command. So let's say I had a command like, I'm just going to use MSF console for this. When you start it up, you know, but it will not run because you are not sudo, which means it'll quit. So enable to run this command, being that you have to type sudo msf console, which will then run. And as you can see, it starts to run, and you have this, and let's try our command again. Success. So there'll also be a separate video on this too. So Control C, not Control C, exit. Yeah, that's the command for this. Then you have mkdir on your desktop, which means create directory. So test. But you can also remove that directory by mrd RMDIR. And you can also type MKDIR test pipe CD test, which it did not run. That's great. Oh wait, no, it's not pop. That's another thing. I was thinking of something else. That was JavaScript. Okay, so you have. Hold on. Let me do that again. Crap. No problem. Okay, so you wanna mkdir test and two ampersands, which means this will not work unless the previous command works. And now I'm in my, of course, right here. There's also other commands for network and stuff. And now I'm back to my home directory. So if you want to figure out your IP address, ifconfig, but I'm not going to do that because that is the incredibly stupid move. But what it'll do is it'll list your IP address and your iNet6 address and stuff like that. Then you want to do netstat, which I'm also not going to do. And there's an mmap scan, which scans ports, which we'll get into later. And there's other things like psaux, which lists the running stuff in your thing. So see what it has running. So you have basically that running. Then you have other commands such as grep. So let's say I want to search for simply signal stroke roll, stuff like that. Hit tab to complete. Let's say I'm running a psaux scan and I want to look for grep Spotify. Anything running Spotify. As you can see, what you see in the red is Spotify stuff that's been running. And as you can see in the corner, we have Spotify. And now what you do, and you can also do like kill, and then your test. This is like your PID number, which should be a number. So what you do is you psaux, and trying to find. You can also kill your terminal this way by finding your address. Your PID for this. That way. And there's also other things you can do, like there's tar. So let's say I have ls, I don't know, a tar file in here. Hopefully there's a tar one. Yes, tar.zip, which is this right here. Copy. And then you want to do tar-xzvf, and then shift control V, and that will basically, this is Clonezilla because it's already been instructed, so it won't work. And back to the who am I command will show you who you're running as. su dash will allow you to run as, I get an authentication error, but this will not work. This will work for most people. So su dash will allow you to run as root in your session. And basically that is most of the commands. I know they're basic. Hope you guys enjoyed. Goodbye.